And welcome back once again. This is Sean Taggart and Ian Oano getting you geared up for the holiday season by prepping you. Today we're going to be talking about some of the warehouse capabilities within Multi-Channel Order Manager, M.O.M for short, such as creating and receiving POs, talk about stock allocation. We're also going to be touching on and showing off our multi-warehouse capabilities, as well as helping you get your inventory up to date by doing some import, exporting, anything like that for stock counts. Plus, we'll be talking a little bit about our partner barcoders who'll be able to help you assist with those things. Let's get started.
And here we are in M.O.M. We're going to be covering the warehousing side of M.O.M. So first off, we're going to go into your suppliers. So we're going to go to Supplier Setup. So under Product, Maintain Suppliers, you get your different suppliers that you have available in your M.O.M system. You select one. You can see here within the supplier code, you can put in a code here, the name, the address information, where the supplier is, the contact, and most importantly, the email address. M.O.M has the ability to email the POs directly to your supplier if you check this box, and then you can actually choose the format you want to send it as, HTML, PDF, document, or XML. We also have the different default instructions that you can set and notes as well that's internal. Within the accounting tab, you have your accounts with the supplier if you'd like, your terms that you pay with suppliers, and then what we have here some of these supplier requirements, drop ships. We also have what we call landed costs. So if you want your true cost door to door, including the taxes and adjustments and shipping, you can actually check that off here based on volume, weight, or value. And then once you receive the product, you can actually see that landed cost calculated for you and added to the unit cost. So once you have your supplier set up, now you can actually order that particular items for that supplier. So within our ordering screen, you have a low-level, single product, and special criteria. So this is actually a legacy screen that we used to have where it would actually load the low-level, and you have the 4 different screens. We actually simplified the screen, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We go under Preferences, General, and we're going to use the simplified purchasing screen. And once we do that, that screen is now to the simplified, up-to-date version. So within here, you can actually search for the products that you want, or you can look at it based on supplier. So we saw that it was Hanes that we were looking at, and you can hit Process here, and you can see all the different products that this supplier is actually done with us. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and order a small V-neck T-shirt here. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase 10. And I can set an expected date once I feel like, based on what the delivery time is. So they typically deliver in a week, let's say. So it'll be 18th. And I want to deliver it to my main warehouse at this particular bin. But if you'd like, you can actually pick and choose which bin you want to deliver it to. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver it to my other bin, which is on the aisle 10, shelf 2, and bin 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I can hit Purchase Item. But before we do that, let's actually go to the purchase details. Let's see. So you can see we also have a purchase details. So if you actually used our forecasting module based on your sales history and what you currently have in stock, it would actually tell you what the forecast is, and it would recommend a suggested buy. And once I purchase the item, it gets off the list, and I can then go ahead and purchase another item depending on what you want to do. So I go to my pending purchase, and I review my purchases for that day or that time. Once I verify everything is good, I hit Save here. Then I'm ready to go create the PO. So under Product, Purchasing, I can create the purchase orders. I'm going to say yes to that and yes to this. And now it's created my PO. So now I'm free to review that PO if you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and print that PO for now, so that I can send that. So you can see that it flickered to email the PO to the vendor. So now the vendor knows that the PO is out there. So we're actually going to print that PO here. And I'm going to say yes, PO has been printed. So now we're going to review that. So we have created and printed the PO. So we have to view, edit that PO. So you can see this is the small t-shirt I've ordered from that Hanes vendor. If I need to add more, you can actually add more products here if you'd like on the fly, add more special instructions, and I can add shipping as it comes in. So the next step is to receive this particular PO. So if I go under product, receiving, you can receive products. Now there's two ways to receive in our system. There's one we call a regular receive, which is this screen. You can select the PO that you actually is outstanding, and you can hit receive here or receive all depending how many products you have here. So as you receive all, you can see it's receiving it, and if you had set up the landed cost, it would actually calculate the different costs here. So if I added the shipping, the tax and adjustment, like I said, it would have a recommended, and it would add that unit cost to your, the unit cost. So the landed cost would be added to the unit cost. So once I save this, it goes away. It's going to tell me to process updates to inventory. So what the process updates inventory for us is, it actually looks at all the open orders, if it has any, for that particular product, and if it does have any, and is there any back order units, and if it has any back order units, our system will automatically fill those orders for you. If you want to modify the existing allocation, because our system will do it first come first serve, you can actually modify that so they can pick and choose which order to fill. So once I have process updates, that's running through our system, checking for any back orders, and when it's done, it's going to make those orders available to be processed through the order processing we saw in the previous episode, the previous part of this webinar series. So once it's received, we're going to review the item. So we were receiving it to the small t-shirt. So you can see here, if you go to our second warehouse, different bin, you can see that there's our 10 units that we just received. So once that's received, now that's ready to be sold. You can also track that transaction via the inventory transaction report, which will tell you that it's been delivered to the warehouse and which bin it was delivered to. Also, if you don't have POs, you can actually do straight out adjustments for the stock items. So within M.O.M, you have different options. So if we go back and bring up the product that we have, the small, you have different options to adjust. So you can either adjust units. So if right now I have 110, I can add 10, or I can subtract 10. So you can see if I do negative, you can see my total adjustment after adjustment is 100. But if I add 20, you can see it's going to do 130. Once I save that, it's going to save that particular adjustment to whatever bin I want. You can also adjust the inventory cost lots. So if you have different lots as you receive it, you can actually adjust those costs. So if you're doing FIFO or LIFO, you can adjust the different costs if it changes, or if it's average cost, the system will calculate that for you. You also have a feature to transfer between bin to bin. So I can transfer from this bin, which has 100 units, to the bin that has 10, and I can move, another 10 to that particular bin and say notation for adjustments. These are the different ways you can, transfer inventory between bin to bin, or adjust inventory altogether. Now, what you just saw here is something we did in the front end. We do have a partner barcoders that will actually do this through a wireless scanner. So it's a nice feature if you're walking out the warehouse and you're either transferring units bin to bin, you can do it live with the integration with barcoders. Or if you had to adjust units because you had a cycle count and you don't necessarily want to go back into the M.O.M system, you can actually do it within the scanner. Again, that's through our partnership with barcoders, and those are some of the features they offer through us, offer for the M.O.M user. So last thing I'm going to show here in regards to warehousing is our physical counts. So if you have the A module, our advanced inventory module, you can actually export and import inventory out of the system. So with the import, you have all these different formats that you can use, and you can also import by bin ID. So this is a new feature. So standard functionality allows you to export a data set in whatever format you choose. So it comes out with 2 columns, one for the number and then one for the number of units you have available, net on shelf, or what you want to add to the net available to sell. So depending on what you choose here. And you can then, as you walk to the warehouse, you can update that Excel sheet and then bring it back into M.O.M. But now, if you have multiple bins, you typically just add it to the main bin. But now with the import by bin ID, you can actually be specific enough to add the inventory or subtract the inventory you need by bin ID. Again, this is also supported by the barcoders, where they can actually do it in the wireless gun. So it's a nice feature, but if you're doing a physical count, you can also do it without the barcoders integration. That's also a native feature functionality within the M.O.M system. So that's more or less the warehousing side of M.O.M. Obviously, this is more on the PO and receiving side. We did cover some of the warehouse functionalities in the pick pack on our previous episodes on order processing. So if you missed that, go ahead and check that out. But for now, I'm going to give this back to Sean.
So once again, that was the warehouse side of things to make your holiday season more efficient and bright. So one thing that we want to talk about and we want to stress here is making sure your team is aware of the changes that you are implementing for the holiday season to make their job easier. You want to make sure that they're adhering the procedural changes that you're making to make sure that your warehouse team has the tools to do their job and also has the ability to do their job quickly and efficiently. That's where Multi-Channel Order Manager is here to help. Please check out a blog on this topic and more, and a guest blog post by barcoders at freestylesolutions.com. This is Sean Taggart and Ian Owano. Thanks for joining.